Hi, welcome to Unit 11, which is all about JavaScript arrays. So arrays are going to be our first data structure, and data structures are just ways of storing data, ways of holding information using JavaScript. So we've seen variables so far, which will let us hold one piece of information, like a name, a phone number, a number. But what if we wanted to have all of the names of all of our friends? Hopefully it's not just one, but we have multiple friends and we want to be able to store all of them together. A variable's not really going to work for that. So the array is one of JavaScript's answers to that problem. So arrays are really useful in all sorts of real-world and practical situations. So a site like Facebook or Yelp, they're going to have arrays all over the place. Anytime that you imagine or you think of a list of data, so there's groups of data that are related. So let's take an example of, I make a Facebook post, and that Facebook post, hopefully, if it's a popular one, let's say I'm getting married, or I made a funny joke one time, or someone close to me died and I get a bunch of sympathy comments, whatever it is, if I get a bunch of comments, there's a list there. And Facebook stores them together. It keeps track of them together using an array. We're going to use arrays to do things like keep track of the to-dos that you have in your to-do list, or to keep track of the comments on a particular post, or to keep track of the photos that correspond to a particular user. So they're really useful. It's not just some construct, something that you're learning early on, but it's really something that we'll use throughout the rest of the course. And I say that a lot, and it's because everything I'm showing you is the stuff that you need for the rest of the course. So I'm not just saying that, I promise. Okay, let's get started with arrays. So we have three main objectives again. The first one is that I want you to be able to define arrays, not explain what they are, not that kind of define, but actually use code to define an array and then remove and add elements from that array. The second objective is that you should be able to use built-in array methods to add and remove and manipulate the array. So there are things like push and pop, shift and unshift that we'll talk about. These are all built-in methods that you should be able to use by the end of the unit. And then the last thing that we'll do is we'll build a simple project, a to-do list application using arrays. So we'll use functions, we'll use arrays, we'll use variables, conditional logic. It's not going to be a fully functional, crazy to-do list with a visual interface just yet. We will be working towards a really nice looking visual to-do list that's responsive and it looks really nice. For now, this is going to be based in the JavaScript console. So I do want to set your expectations. We will be revisiting the to-do list though, and it will still use arrays and functions and variables and everything else. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.